I like your background.
Yeah, I try to get the clothing rack out of it.
Right. Now you got pictures and stuff. It looks good.
Okay. Got some, yep. Yeah. Yeah. What are the golf bags for? Thanks.
Oh, you guys are ridiculous. You're even making kissy faces while we're here on camera. You guys are
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's happening.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Sports Medicine Broadcast, Nurturing Relationships with Josh and Jamie Woodall. Josh and Jamie are a very affectionate couple, and I am glad that they are joining us. Actually, just before I started, they were making kissy faces at each other because I was off pressing the start and record button. So it's a very good, healthy relationship between two married athletic trainers who have been in the profession a good while and have managed to thrive. And hopefully we can get some wisdom from you guys on how to make that happen. If you want to join this conversation at sportsmedicinebroadcast.com/relationships. Again, sportsmedicinebroadcast.com/relationships. All right, we're going to start it off. I don't think you guys knew this. Here we go. You guys didn't fill it out. All right, Jamie.
Yes.
What is Josh's favorite flavor of cookie?
Oh, macadamia nut.
Josh, is that right?
Yes, absolutely. White chocolate macadamia nut doesn't get much better than that.
All right, Josh, what is Jamie's favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, well, it's got to be Tin Roof. I mean, that's that's kind of digging. That's a one of the special edition ones from Bluebell, but he's a Tin Roof fan.
What do you think, Jamie?
Accurate.
Yeah. All right, Jamie, if you're going to go to a restaurant, what is Josh most likely to order?
Oh, man, it is different every time. Is that an okay answer?
Okay, well then, okay, he's going to order a burger. How's he going to order it?
Ooh, there you go.
Ooh, chef's recommendations.
Chef's recommendations?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a cop-out.
Okay, he would probably do medium rare.
But what about the toppings? You see?
Oh, the toppings.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they're different every time. Let's see. Mayo. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Lettuce and tomato cheese. I'm the bacon person, but he'll put bacon on it every once in a while. Onions. Yep.
Oh, that sound about right, Josh?
Missing a key component here.
Oh, no. Pickles?
Oh, well, yes. But missing the jalapenos.
Jalapenos. Oh, I almost said it.
All right, Josh, what was Jamie's first car?
She drove an Oldsmobile, which was actually a shared vehicle with her and her twin sister. But she brought that car to college. It was an Oldsmobile Cutlass, I believe.
Nice.
Classy. Super classy.
All right, Jamie, Josh has got a week-long paid vacation wherever. Where is he going to choose?
Oh, man. It would not be skiing. I'd probably like a Caribbean cruise.
How's that sound, Josh?
Yeah, I would definitely go for that. That is a hard one because I'd probably change my mind about 3 times before I ended up somewhere. But Caribbean cruise sounds like a great plan.
All right. So again, we're talking to Josh and Jamie Woodall, talking about how to nurture relationships, and just silly, fun questions like these are a great way to build relationships. And there you go. You can see that they've connected, they've lived together, they know each other. So, Josh, why don't you start off telling me, where did you guys meet?
Yeah. So Jamie and I met in college at Sam Houston State University. So we were, I was I was probably a junior. I guess, yeah, I was a junior in the program when Jamie started. And I guess I was a senior in school, but no, I was a senior. Yeah. and Jamie came in as a freshman. I was a senior, and so we met there at Sam Houston, and I was pretty interested right away, but Jamie called me an old man, so that was I had some interesting hurdles to get over there.
Gotcha. You just needed an Oldsmobile.
That's right. If I'd have driven an Oldsmobile instead of a Ford Ranger, I might have been okay. It might have been quicker.
All right. So, Jamie, tell me a little bit more about the story from the time where you guys first met.
Let's see. We met, all the time in the athletic training room, his apartment, and he shared that with Cody, also in the program at Sam. Their apartment was kind of the place to hang out, and so I was over there a lot, and just all of a sudden, less and less people were hanging out with us along the way. I had to change dorms a few times for different reasons out of my control, and he was always so helpful and just volunteered his time to help move my belongings from one room to another. And I thought, well, he's a really great guy. So we actually don't have that starting point of when we started dating, because it just kind of happened out of a friendship. And so we don't have that anniversary of dating that a lot of people have.
I gotcha. Sarah and I met my 5th year. She was a sophomore then, and I had seen her passing, and then I actually asked a friend, hey, what's her name? Because they work together, and so then I started saying hi, Sarah, and instead of just hi. And then we were at a dance together, and not together. We were at a dance with other people, and we kept checking each other out while we were dancing with our respective dates. So the next day, I sat down with her at lunch and asked her for her phone number. And then the girl that I went to the dance with came and sat next to me as well. So it was a little awkward, but.
That's my school bell. Sorry.
That's all right. That'll happen to me too. So that's, from the rest, we started dating, married. So we're going on 12 years this summer. So.
That's awesome.
It's fun and exciting. All right. So, Jamie, we'll start with you. Let's talk about what a normal day looks like for you at your job.
All right. So I get to work somewhere around 6:45, usually closer to 7. First thing I do when I come in is, set everything down, check emails, drink a little coffee, and then treatments start at 7:15. And that takes us to about 8:15. And first period athletics begins at that point. And we have athletics every period of the day except third period. And so the morning athletic periods are a little less intensive. It's gymnastics and tennis and wrestling is pretty much in the morning. And then as we move into the afternoon, that's when you have, football, off-season football, basketball, all those sports going on 4th through 7th. And then after school, we'll do treatments and then prepare for any games that might be starting. They're usually around 5 o'clock is when games start. And so if it's a game night, likelihood is I'm working. Most of the time we have multiple venues going, so I'm here. If it's not, then we'll switch off. Brian Smith, the other athletic trainer here, he and I will switch off and try to give each other a break every once in a while. And then if it's a non-game night, then we switch off doing treatments. Treatments go till about 5:30, 5:45. And then that's kind of what it looks like. Get a 30-minute lunch in there. If it's Wednesday, you'll find me at Double Days with Linda, the athletic secretary. It's a standing appointment for 9 years. So it's a really good place to work and really enjoy it.
All right, Josh, the rival school, is it pretty similar?
It's pretty similar. We start around the same time. Our bell schedule is pretty much the same. So I'm getting to the office about the same time. We generally leave together in the morning. So get here and get things started up, and then as we get everything going, we have we really have 2 major athletic periods during the day. Our first period and 7th period athletics on the bookends. First period is our varsity football, varsity boys basketball, and then our freshman girls athletics, volleyball, basketball. Those things are during first period, and then seventh period we kind of flip that, and we have varsity girls and freshman boys as far as the basketball, football, volleyball, those kind of things. Soccer is in the afternoon, so we'll get them seventh period. We actually have a soccer period a little bit earlier in the day too for our younger soccer kids, freshmen, and some of our one of our JV teams are during the day. So we get those, but we have a little bit more time without athletics during the course of the school day, which is nice because means we have more time to get some of our records caught up and up to date and filing done and all of that kind of good stuff. So that's a lot of fun. But then game schedule and everything, treatments in the afternoon, that's all pretty similar. So we're fortunate, and that's one of the things that has been really good about both of us being in the same school district, is that our schedule as far as holidays and our daily work schedules are very similar to each other. So it helps us be able to coordinate and have some time together in the evenings at home. Some days anyway.
Yeah. So both of you sound like a pretty normal secondary school athletic trainer schedule when you have two athletic trainers. If you have one, I'm sure I don't know. Actually, I do know because I was by myself at George Bush High School for 2 years, and that was pretty brutal. But it was within my first 3 years of working, so I didn't really know much better. But Josh, have you guys had the opportunity to work at the same school?
We did. We worked together here at Bryan High School the first year that Rudder was opened, but they didn't have their own campus yet. And so we worked. Jamie was hired and worked here on the Bryan High School campus, even though she was really Rudder's athletic trainer. We were the only two here, so we worked together, and that was an interesting year.
All right, Jamie.
By interesting, he means it was terrible.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about that, Jamie?
So that phrase, "too much of a good thing," it can be bad, and we decided that going from usually not seeing each other very much to seeing each other every second of every day, it wore on us just a little bit. So we started taking different vehicles to work because we were sharing a ride because we thought how convenient that would be. And but we found out real quick he likes to listen to music on the way home, usually pretty loud, and I do not at all. I usually go home in silence, and so it's kind of my cool down moment and everything. And so we found out real quick we do things kind of different and needed a little bit of separation.
All right. So if you were given the opportunity to work there at the same high school again, do you think you would take it?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I doubt that. We enjoy spending some time together, but every day, all day is it's a little difficult. Yeah, we decompress a little bit differently, so need that time.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Like you said, too much of a good thing is sometimes overwhelming. So, okay, Josh, why don't you start off here? What are some of the things that you guys have done to maintain your marriage relationship?
Well, one of the things that we do, and this has been a big thing for us ever since we were in college working in the athletic training program together, is we really try hard to leave work at work and not bring that home with us a great deal. So, occasionally we'll talk about a different, or an interesting event or injury that we've had or something of that nature. But on a regular daily basis, we're not going to go home and talk about work. We're going to go home and focus on ourselves and spending time together, and whether that's just a short night of watching a little TV and having a dinner together, or whether we have a little bit more time and do something, go out somewhere or go out to eat or do something like that. But we try to make sure that we get some time to spend with each other versus focusing on work and talking about work. We try to really keep that separated. That's one of the big things that we learned early on that helped us to maintain a really strong and good relationship.
All right, Jamie.
So the question is, what's some of the things we do?
What are some of the things you've done to maintain your marriage relationship?
Communication for us is probably the biggest key for me, is that as long as we know what's going on with each other, we're good. We share our Google Calendar with each other, and so when we're scheduling different things, we can see who's off. And if he hasn't scheduled yet, then I'll let him know, okay, I'm scheduling a few days out. And so when he does, he'll look at mine and vice versa. And so that's been really, really good. Communication for us is absolutely the most important thing. But we also teach a young marrieds class at our church. And so that has been really rewarding for us, just working through different issues that young married couples have, that they change a little along the way. But teaching that class really helps us realize how far we've come, what we've been through, what we've overcome. And so it's been, that's been a really rewarding experience. And I feel like it's really made our marriage stronger.
All right. That sounds really cool. I may have to find out a little bit more about that. Actually, go ahead. What is that married couple, the young married couple class about?
So it's called Marriage Builders. It's a Grace Bible Church, the church we attend. And when we first started going to the class, we were not going in to be leaders or anything like that. The class that matched our age group was more of a family-based class, people who had kids, and it just didn't really fit us since we don't have any children. And so then we started trying to find a class that would match us a little better. And so we identified best with either young marrieds or with empty nesters. And so we decided to go with the young marrieds. And so we, bebopped into that class one day and really enjoyed it, and had a lot of input to provide as far as some of the issues that were coming up, or some of the lessons that were being taught. We had some nuggets of information that we provided, and then that led to us being asked to be leaders in the class. And that was kind of shocking to us, just because that wasn't what we had intended when we went in. But so the class is based on usually some Bible study, short term. And so we go through that, and then we flip at semester and start doing what's called, what it was called?
Like life lessons.
Life lessons. And so each leadership couple, there's 6 different couples that help lead the class. And so we just take 1 or 2 weeks in the semester and do what we call a life lesson. And so one of ours is on communication and how important it is, and how to do it effectively and biblically in the marriage. And then we'll do some other lessons. One might be on expectations and different things like that. So it hits on a wide range with the 6 couples, and it's usually entertaining. It's a lot of great discussion, and so that's kind of how it goes.
All right, very good. Josh, what do you think is one of the big strengths you bring to that class, something that you can really share with a young married couple?
One of the biggest things for us, and what we've discovered, is that we relate well to the young married couples, because even though, Jamie and I have been married for 15 years, or will be 15 years in August. We are a lot closer in age to those young married couples that are coming in, and so because we relate well to them, but we've had a lot of experiences that they've yet to experience, or that they may be going through, we're a pretty good resource for working through some of those early in relationship issues that married couples deal with. And so I would say one of the strengths that we bring as a couple to that class is that we've experienced a lot of those things, and yet we are able to communicate with them. I guess being athletic trainers, we communicate with people all the time, whether that's athletes, coaches, parents, those kinds of things. And so being able to relate to them and work with them to kind of guide them through some things based on the experiences we've had has been really really beneficial, I think.
All right. One of the things that Sarah and I have done, we went to a Before You Say I Do class through Sagemont Church, and that also, like Jamie just talked about, the expectations, because you don't think about communicating, well, it's your job to take out the trash and my job to cook dinner, or whatever it is, but just going through those normal chores that you would expect the other person to do, and you need to learn to communicate those and say, hey, how about you do these most of the time, and if you need help, just ask me and I'll help you, and I'll do these most of the time. Because Sarah has never mowed the yard, and I don't expect her to mow the yard or to weed eat or to shovel stuff in the garden or whatever, but she almost always does the cooking and most of the time does the cleaning. And so we've been able to communicate those expectations, and we have, I would say, a very healthy marriage. Something else we've done is we've gone on marriage retreats. So we went to Weekend to Remember, which is from Family Life. We've been to the Windshape one, which is in Rome, Georgia, which that one is a really cool one. And I would recommend going in February because it's cold, and down here in Texas, we don't really get that coldness that much. It was it was 20 degrees one time, and you just cuddled up next to the fire. And we're just taking trips or vacations or weekends or date nights. I read a book from Justin Buzzard called Date Your Wife. And so that's a really good one for, just like we have a plan for what we're going to do as a career, what we're going to do, how we're going to accomplish our goals in the weight room or whatever it is. That's about having a plan how a man is going to date his wife and build a thriving marriage. So that's one I definitely recommend too. So, all right. Jamie, you are on the NATA PR committee, the awards committee, right?
PR committee.
The PR committee. Okay. PR. Yeah. Cause I knew you were giving out awards last summer. And so tell me a little bit about some of the time constraints that has on you. And then again, how you manage to be active and involved in our profession and promoting our profession, but still maintain those relationships.
So my involvement actually started as Josh being on the TSATA board, and they saw a need for someone to come in and work with member services, and he was like, well, Jamie likes to talk, and so I was voluntold to do that and everything, and so that led to a lot of volunteering, and none of the positions I've had I necessarily sought. A lot of them fell in my lap. I was asked to do them, but being involved has allowed me the opportunity to just know what's going on, be on the forefront of it, be ahead of the curve instead of reacting to a lot of the changes that occurred through NATA and legislation and that type of thing. So the involvement side of it, yes, is very important, and I enjoy it. But the benefits to it, or benefits from being involved, is what I really think is so important. And so the time that I put into it, I honestly see a direct reciprocation of benefits. And so it is an investment that I think is very important. And so the time commitment to it gets a little tricky because, especially on the NATA level, I'm working with a staff liaison with the NATA, and they have office hours where they keep, and that's when they can work on some of the committee stuff that we work on together. The problem is that their office hours are during my work hours, where this is volunteer work for me on the NATA level, and so their job is my volunteer work, and so there can be a huge conflict of scheduling at that point. That's probably been one of the biggest issues that I've faced with the NATA level volunteering. But the NATA staff is super flexible and available, and so as long as we communicate those scheduling issues, we can usually work out conference calls and different things that we have to do and make it successful for everybody. But that's a little bit of the time commitment and some of the issues that we work on. But the relationships that I've been able to make and keep through all of the volunteering that I've done has been really cool, and really, I would say You meet really neat people from other states, other parts of the state, and just really get a handle on what other athletic trainers kind of have to deal with that's different from your own experiences. And that really helps guide a lot of the work we do.
Gotcha. All right, Josh, SWATA president, Jamie was saying TSATA board. What are some of the time constraints that being active, being a leader in the profession of athletic training have on you, and some of the things that you've done to intentionally maintain relationships?
Well, the time is great, especially during certain points of the year, mainly surrounding convention, midwinter meeting, those kind of things. But probably the one of the biggest time constraints that I've faced being a SWATA president is trying to get out and go to as many state and regional meetings as possible to be a resource for athletic trainers in various parts of the district, and be there to represent SWATA and answer questions and do those things. And the travel and time commitment that goes along with that, it can be substantial. And so that probably presents one of the biggest challenges for me in maintaining relationship with Jamie, and then also with friends and colleagues here at home, and a work relationship. A lot of times that travel and time commitment can be great. But what I've done is I try, as Jamie kind of said before, we share our Google calendars. And so I can look at her calendar and see what she has going on, and she can look at mine to see what I have going on. And a lot of times we're able to schedule things at work such that we can be off at the same time, and Jamie can travel with me to some of these workshops and meetings and such that I go to. And that gives us an opportunity to spend some time in the car together when we're traveling, or spend some time together at those meetings. And then she also is able to see old friends and colleagues from different areas, and be able to visit and maintain some of those relationships as well. So I would say that, like you said it best, being intentional. And I think that's the key to it, is just having good communication and being intentional about, getting the job done and doing what is needed of the position that we hold, but yet being able to find a way to be intentional in incorporating each other into that, and being able to find some time together through that as well has been really good for us, and being able to maintain a strong and healthy relationship, but yet be able to serve at the same time.
I love how you guys talk about communicating, sharing your calendar. There's obviously, you and I hung out for a little bit down there at South Padre at Spats. And so Sarah and I, whenever I was presented with the opportunity, I was like, hey, babe, are you okay with this? And, we discussed that. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to do this. But there's some times where if I'm going to a conference in San Antonio, we have friends that live over there, so we can actually stay with them and hang out with them. So just like you were saying with Jamie, instead of it being a burden, we just make it into like a little vacation, and she's able to hang out with those friends, and our kids are able to play together, that kind of stuff. And usually there's some cost involved with that. And so again, I make that part of the budget, that we plan to have money for them to stay in a hotel with me while I'm at this conference, and maybe we go to Legoland in Dallas while I'm at something in Dallas or something like that. And in making sure that rather than being a burden or me being absent, that they're involved in some part, even if I'm gone for a good part of the day, that I'm still there with them at night. I'm still able to participate in some of the fun activities. So I think that's another benefit to my job. Of course, my wife is a stay-at-home mom with we have 3 kids, so the story is a little bit different, but it's just a good opportunity for them to see me doing things and then be part of my life. So
well, it is. I mean, I think that's a big part of it, and it's great to be able to do those things together. And especially, like you said, with kids, they get the opportunity to see the importance of being involved and doing those things and staying active in your career. And that's a good life lesson, for them as well. And at the same time, you're able to make that relationship stronger. I mean, what's better than a a road trip with the family and spending some time in a car with 3 kids, right?
Yep.
That long road trip's got to be great.
Yeah, they do a lot. They good for bonding and for testing patience and everything. But all right, so Jamie, what are some of the ways that you've maintained friendships with all the busy schedule? And I know Josh just talked about how you get to catch up with some whenever you're going on the road trips with him, or he's going with you, that kind of thing. But what are some of the other ways that you've been able to maintain friendships?
There's a couple of people I'm pretty close with here in College Station, and I think that just like me, they are incredibly busy, and so we just have the understanding that, hey, we're going to hang out when we can, and we're going to enjoy it. We're not going to dwell on the fact that we didn't talk for a month or whatever it was. And so the friends that I have been able and very fortunate to be able to make here in College Station has been really great, and we really do just have that understanding that they're busy, I'm busy, and when we can, we will. And so a lot of times it's very short notice. Hey, heading out to dinner here in a little bit, want to join? Just a quick text message, or a lot of times I'll see something on Facebook, so I'll text them and say, hey, saw that on Facebook. Is everything good? Or just trying to check in on them. A lot of times it is through text message, and they're the same way with me. And so probably my closest friend would be my twin sister, and she and I know that when we're talking on the phone, if her kids need her, or if something at work happens, it's like, oh, gotta go, and we hang up right away. There's no question on it. There's no hurt feelings that we had to get off the phone or anything like that. So it's just really nice to have those friendships. But that's how those are maintained, is just through just patience and just basically not getting your feelings hurt when can't hang out. So
yeah, I think all athletic trainers know that. Oh, gotta go, bye. But
yeah.
just like both of you were saying, if you communicate that, like, hey, Dad, if I hang up real quick, it's not personal. I just have an injury, that kind of thing. And then they know. But yeah, communicating that beforehand, that's happened to all of us, I think so. All right, Josh, you said Jamie likes to talk a lot, and she's going to be part of the PR committee. So what are some of the ways that you've maintained friendships since she's the talker?
Well, I try to do as much as I can with my friends that are here local to me, and then also my friends that I've made over time, either through volunteer service or in college and beyond. One of the things that I can say definitely I'm doing is this year I'll be going down to South Padre for the meeting down there. But one of my closest friends and my roommate from college, Cody Purcell, he's also going down to the meeting in South Padre. So we just made plans to get ourselves a hotel room for an extra night, and we're gonna go down a day early and do some fishing while we're down there, and just spend some time together before the conference starts, and be able to kind of visit and catch up and spend a day doing something that we used to do when we were in college. So I think that's kind of the key, is being able to find those opportunities, where you may have to go and do something. You may not be available to do something the entire time, but you know what, I can take an extra day off work and pay for a hotel room, and we'll go down early and spend some time together and do something that we enjoy doing. So I think the key to maintaining those friendships and doing those things is just taking advantage of the time that you can make and have. Friendships are so important. Professional relationships are important, but if you neglect your friendships or your close friendships and family, then it's going to make it a struggle struggle for you to maintain a happy career and life balance, and so really have to focus on making the time available when you can.
I like that both of you kind of said be intentional, but also accidental. So the things that are going to happen, you just include people in those. Jamie said going out to dinner. Hey, I'm going. You want to catch up with me? If not, cool. It's all right. You you said, well, I'm going down there, you're going down there. Well, let's just make it happen. We're going to go fishing and hang out and just relax. And so I think, like you said, being intentional about making an effort and understanding that it's not always going to happen, and focusing on the time you do get to spend together rather than the time that you missed or you didn't get to spend together like you did back in college. So, all right, very good. Jamie, what do you think is the best advice you have gotten regarding relationships?
Marriage relationships or any relationship?
You could pick one or both.
Well, the best advice for marriage that I've come up with is if you don't spend time and energy on your relationship, then someone or something else will. So that's my marriage one, and I guess that could go for any relationship, but that's really intended for the marriage. And then as far as friendships go, I think my advice given to me on that, I just probably just show grace to people. People do the best that they know how, and so if they've hurt your feelings or done something negative in your mind, then it generally is probably not intended that way, or was never the intention of them in the beginning. So just show them grace and forgiveness and move forward from there.
All right. That's there's so many times where I have taken what happened between me and Sarah, and in my head I've turned it into a bigger situation than it actually was, when all she said was no, but I heard something completely different because I was putting my judgment or whatever on it, or my past hurts on it. And so instead of it just being, no, I don't want to do that right now, or no, that doesn't sound good to me, it was all this other stuff. But I've learned, just like you said, to be graceful, and then to take the situation as it is, not what it possibly could be. So, all right, Josh, what do you feel is the best advice you've gotten regarding relationships?
Well, one thing, and I remember this from when Jamie and I were dating, and actually, I guess it was when I asked her father for his blessing to ask Jamie to marry me. He told me, and this was advice that he gave me in relationship to having kids, and like I said, we don't have kids, but I think it applies equally to just marriage in general. He told me, that if you promise a kid an ice cream cone, you better make sure you give them that ice cream cone. If you promise them a butt whooping, you better give them a butt whooping. Hold true to your promises. And I think, I think it's very, I think that was very good advice for having children, but I think it's very good advice for marriage and maintaining a strong relationship. Hold true to your promises. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And just be honest and faithful to that, and everything else will fall into place if you can do that. I thought that was really good advice that he gave me back then, and I've held on to that for 15 years now.
That's a good one. Promise an ice cream cone, you better deliver. If you promise a butt whooping, you better deliver too.
That's right.
All right, so Jamie, you talked about you got a really good relationship with your twin sister. What are some of the things that you've done to maintain your family relationships?
So family is very important to me, as I'm sure it is to everybody. It's important that my family knows that I am available for them if they need something, that they can call, and I've got so many days saved up that, if I need to, I'll take them. I think so many times we do talk about how busy we are and how obligated we are to our jobs and to the things that we do. And so it's very important to me that my family knows that if they need something, we will be there. So there's been times where I've just had to take off and felt that it was important that I be there for a family member. I have an older sister and also an older brother, and all of them, we all have things going on in our lives, and sometimes we need to be there for each other. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that my family, it's important to me that they know I can be there for them, if I need to be, and that they can call me.
All right, Josh.
Jamie and I grew up in a different type of family, and it's not to say that family is not important to me or to my family, but it was a little bit of a different experience. All of Jamie's family or her most immediate family all lived within a few hours of each other as she was growing up. And for me, I grew up born and raised here in Texas, but my mother's parents, my grandparents lived in Nebraska. One of my aunts and uncles and cousins lived in Phoenix, Arizona, another in Reno, Nevada, and we're just kind of spread out all over the place. And so the key to that relationship was knowing that we all enjoy spending time together and doing things together, but it may not happen all the time or even that frequently. If we saw each other once a year, if we saw each other twice a year, it was a big year. So for us, it was about just maintaining communication and like Jamie said, being available to talk to one another if we needed to. If somebody needed something, but knowing that just because we weren't able to physically be there all the time, that we were able to be there to help in any way that we can and be supportive of each other. And so that's a huge thing about maintaining that family relationship for me, because even today, my sister lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and my parents live in Kansas. And so here again, we're not real close to each other, and it's not always possible for us to physically be there, but we all know that we can count on each other if we need to, and we're just a phone call away. So I think that's that's kind of the key to maintaining that relationship for us, is just being available.
See, that's one of the things that I have trouble with personally, because I feel like my mission, my goal is to be a good husband and to be a good father. And so those are the things that I'm going to put the most energy into. So being a good brother or son, those are kind of secondary, and I'm not nearly as intentional about that. And so we've actually, just a couple weeks ago, we had a group text message where my mom texted all of us, and then so everybody's now replying, and I hate group text messages. And so I actually decided to tell them that, y'all, please don't freaking text me because I don't want to hear everybody's, oh, yay, thumbs up, heart, whatever. And so, but I realize now that was important to them, and it's probably more important to my mom, because I have a sister in Virginia, a sister up there close to you guys in the Bryan area, and then me down here, and a brother that's off somewhere here in Texas as well. And us being together hasn't happened in years. And so just being able to communicate together, I need to go back and say, hey guys, I apologize. I was rude. I would like to be able to open up that communication, and so that that I'm there for you, and figuring out what's important to them, and in communicating in a way that's important to them, not just what's important to me, because most of my life, that's how I am, is I take care of me. And so that includes me and my family, and everything else, that's yours to deal with. That's not mine. You got to deal with you. But other people need me. That's why I'm here in a service job where I'm treating and taking care of athletes, where I'm being a friend to coworkers and that kind of thing. So it's still a big lesson that at 35 years old, I'm still learning. Been married for 12 years. I'm still learning, but I never said I was the quickest with that stuff. So,
well, if you're not learning, you're dying, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
You got to, always move forward and always learning. It's, no one has all the answers. That's for sure.
Gotcha. All right. Resources that you would recommend for somebody who is looking to nurture relationships. Jamie, I want to ask you first. You can pick friendship or family or marriage or just any relationship. I want you to pick. You go first.
Ooh, resources. For marriage or serious relationships, I would absolutely recommend the 5 Love Languages. It's actually, it was originally a book with a quiz that you took, but now it's actually an app on your phone. So you can take the test or the quiz on the app, and then You can also put your partner's person profile in there. And so the 5 love languages, if you're unfamiliar with it, would be, you have to help me, Josh, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, and physical touch. Yeah. And so those are the 5. And so you just learn what your spouse needs through that, and then also how you express love. And so it can really help with communication and feeling that you are loved in that relationship. So that's probably the best resource that I like to recommend to people for marriages. So, and then as far as friendships and stuff, I don't know what those resources would be.
All right, fair enough. Josh.
Well, Jamie and I think a lot alike in that regard, and the 5 love languages is a great resource. But another one that for marriage, resource wise, that I can think of, there's a couple of books out there. There's the Power of a Praying Wife and Power of a Praying Husband, and it's kind of a him and her series. And I think that those are excellent resources. For marriage, as far as having a very positive and strong, growing relationship. I think those are huge, really good resources. But for friendship, I don't know of a lot of books or resources that are out there in that regard. But I think just kind of utilizing your friends as a resource in and of themselves is huge. What grows a friendship better than letting your friends know that you value their thoughts and opinions and their expertise in particular areas. You use your friends as a resource whenever you have the time, or whenever you have the need, whether that be colleagues for a professional resource or close friends for a personal resource when something comes up in your life. People like to feel value. And so showing your friends and your close, your loved ones that they are valued and that you need them is a great way to grow that relationship. So I think, the resource that is themselves.
All right. So some of the ones that I have listed were 5 love languages as well. All right. So I think that's a great way for you to connect with your spouse, to learn and to communicate the expectations and understand what they need to be able to meet that need. Financial Peace University is a huge one because Dave Ramsey says the number 1 cause for divorce in America is money fights and money problems. And if we can stop that, then you're pretty much taking divorce out of the picture, not completely, but that's a huge obstacle, and it's good for anybody, whether you're married or single, whether you're a teenager or 80 years old. If you learn to win with money, then you get to learn to do whatever you want with it. And then marriage retreats, I put a link to the WinShape marriage retreat. There's a Family Life Today weekend to remember. Again, both of those are amazing. They're not just for people who are struggling. Sarah and I have a great marriage, and we went just to get away, just to build our relationship and to love on each other. And so that was a great opportunity and a resource that I would recommend. All right, with it being March, I'm gonna ask you guys to thank an athletic trainer. So I want you to choose one. So I'm gonna go ahead and go first while you guys think. All right. So mine is actually Bill Hale, my coworker here at Pasadena High School. There's a lot of work that he does. Like right now, he's taking care of athletes, that kind of thing. So I can be in here talking on the podcast. There's a lot of other jobs and duties. Him and I have also communicated, hey, you take care of the schedule, I'll take care of the ordering. You take care of, this thing, most of the paperwork stuff, the inputting of physicals, and I'll take care of most of the rehab type stuff. And of course, jobs overlap, but we work together. We've communicated, we understand each other. And for the last 10 years, or this is the year 10, we've worked together. So he's also helped to shape who I am as an athletic trainer. And so Bill, I know you're right over there just in the other room, but thanks for being a part of my life of growing me as an athletic trainer for the last 10 years. All right. Who wants to go first?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
So Brian Smith is the other athletic trainer here at Rudder High School, and he, along with anyone else I've ever worked with, is just super flexible whenever it comes to things like this or the service that I volunteer to NATA. He's super flexible and understanding, and he knows that I try to schedule these things the best I can to alleviate any stress in the workplace. So I would give him a huge shout out for being so supportive and seeing the value in what we do.
Very good.
Well, I could certainly go the same direction. Trent Cox is the athletic trainer here at Bryan High School with me, and he's been over the time that I've been involved in the organizations, he's done so much to make that as least stressful as possible for me, and he willingly takes on those extra responsibilities that he gets because of my involvement. But to step out and do something a little bit different, I'm gonna thank my mentor growing up, my high school athletic trainer, who is retired now, but he's still an athletic trainer. Randy Day was the athletic trainer at Brazos Wood High School for 30 plus, almost 40 years probably before he retired, and he was a huge inspiration to me and influence in my life. He kept me on the straight and narrow path in high school. Every now and then I got in a little bit of trouble, and he was quick to turn me straight and get me pointed in that right direction again, and then has been a huge supporter, friend, just really, really important in my professional and personal lives growing up, and continues to be to this day. So, Randy Day, I thank you very much, and I love you.
All right, that is awesome. Again, whenever I thought about this topic, you guys were the ones that I first thought of, because I see a lot of Jamie's posts on social media, and I love that you guys are openly loving towards each other. And then to find out that you guys lead that class and encourage others to do, that's really awesome. And so, Josh, you have a lovely wife, and congratulations on almost 15 years of marriage. And again, maybe in 15 years we get to come back and do this again, and you get to share even more wisdom of what you learned over 30 years of marriage. So,
oh, that'd be great. Thank you so much. And I'm the most fortunate man on the face of the planet. I promise you.
I don't know about that. Well, thank you. I really appreciate all the kind words, and also for thinking of us. This was really fun.
Very good. And then I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. NATA month is right now. It's March when this is being recorded, but NATA 2017 is going to be in Houston, and I'll be there at Robbie's booth at Frio Hydration. So come by, say hi, come check us out. Come, get a quick 5-minute interview in, and then we'll go on, and Robbie's going to have some pretty cool stuff going on there. So I'm probably going to be at Rob's booth a good bit, but I may, obviously I'll be around in the sessions and checking stuff out too. So NATA Houston 2017, come by the Frio Hydration booth and look for the Sports Medicine Broadcast. This is sportsmedicinebroadcast.com/relationships with Josh and Jamie Woodall. So for Jeremy, host of the Sports Medicine Broadcast, my students who are here helping me out, thank you guys. I know you guys do a lot of good work to help make this thing smooth. And sometimes I don't get to thank them because they leave before we're done. Josh and Jamie there, that is a wrap. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.